inspire you and keep you moving always. And as we look at becoming successful in a daring environment, I still have with me Babs Michael, a motivational speaker. So stay tuned. Now, Babs, thank you for staying with us.
Yeah, good to be back again.
Okay, yes, so we're looking at entrepreneurship. Now, moving away from that, let's look at the enterprises in Nigeria.
Okay.
Okay, now with that in mind, many enterprises in Nigeria have actually been struggling, and they've been unable actually to keep afloat in Nigeria. So businesses are struggling, they come up, and then 3 months later, 6 months later, barely a year, they've closed down. And with that in mind, what do you think the present administration can actually do to encourage the establishment of small-scale businesses?
Okay, like I said before the break, there are some policies that are not working. There are some policies that need action plan. You know, the government knows. I won't say the government have not been doing anything. Okay. They've been doing a lot. I can say a lot, you know. But some of the lot might not be visible when it is done in the wrong way or it is targeting the wrong set of people. So sometimes the reason why we have the microfinance bank came on is all these things to be able to empower, you know, all these small businesses. But they're not actually doing that. You know, sometimes it becomes difficult to get all these loans, you know, but some that have connections here and there can get it with ease. So the background of the Nigerian problem still remain. The corruption of this world still run in all these people that are supposed to empower people. The who do I know still working. So I want to believe some things have been done. You know, they run different things. You hear different codes there and there where young people want to be empowered. But I think they really need to identify these young people that really need this. And I think that's what I said the then minister was trying to do. The really people that are prepared for it, that actually need this support, that need these opportunities, you know. Nigeria has a lot of opportunity. I remember a professor once said that Nigerians are fools, sorry for saying that, stepping on money, looking for money. There are a lot of opportunities in Nigeria, you know, but sometimes the environment won't allow you to thrive, like you raised that. But we have got to fix this. The government have got to make some policies easier and identify the real set of entrepreneurs. Some are not even. Some even use business name to get money out. So it is still connected to what we call the corruption, which is also affecting the government from reaching the right set of people.
Okay. Now, Babs, these policies, yes, they are policies.
Yeah.
But the implementations have been very slow.
Very, very.
So with that in mind, what do you think is missing?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, action plan. It's not, you know, sometimes because there is no measure for action. There is performance, acceptance for how we do. In Nigeria, is when you say you will do, you are awarded. We are not measuring, did you do it? You know, even it happened in love sector, education sector, like I mentioned in a program we did, they wanted to look at performance measurements. It's not what they said they will do, it's was it done? You know, so I think there should be a performance measurement. There should be, I don't know whether a team can be set up to see whether it was actually done. So most times we have paperwork. We're going to be empowering 95% of you to do this, 75% is there. Statistics is even there. Whether it was done or not, it is still out as a report that we empowered 75%. But there was no proof that that was done. But the issue is that there is a proof that the money was disbursed. I remember in that summit, they were saying they give primary school students money for food, for school uniforms. And I said, the community I came from, I've not seen that in the primary school. Not until I started the project where we now have to go to the school. Sometimes we make uniform for them, give them all this. So sometimes nobody's checking it. They thought they have done it from the upstairs, but it doesn't come down. So a lot of things have to be measurement, checks in, must come in. Then we can now see that it's getting there. Okay.
All right. Now, previously, we talked about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And we know that youths are struggling with getting job opportunities in Nigeria. And we know that entrepreneurship is still coming, is upcoming in Nigeria. With that in mind, what do you now think is the answer for youth unemployment in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Just entrepreneurship?
Yes, and entrepreneurship is a very good solution. We're trying to do that, but things are still being done in the wrong way. But it also connects to individuals. Like I said, I can use myself as an example over time. You know, I've not depended on government sponsorship most times. I look at opportunity. There are problems to be solved. You don't need the government to start up a small thing. This person needs shoe. I can make shoe. And that's what is happening. Okay. But over time, your business will grow to the place where certain policies begin to affect you. But before we get there, there are small things we can do. Even Young people are doing that. High school students are doing that. Like the school I run, I make sure in our curriculum there is entrepreneurship developmental program. So young people can identify to it. Is it fund you need? There's a way you can get fund. There are principles to get fund. So we've been teaching them that. We've been sharing that. So I see some of my students, even before leaving high school, have started businesses. Okay. So it means it is possible as an individual not to think about a job. Like me, I said I left school good number of years. I've never applied for a single job with my certificate because I chose to. It was not a decision that came because there was no job. It's a decision that I made that I would do. So most times it's that until we are in tight corner, they will not look for the alternative. And that's why entrepreneurship came as an alternative. And it is not the final solution to lack of jobs. Other things can be done. And I think many, but we focus on entrepreneurship today, and it's just part of it. But it depends on the individual decision. You decide on time, this is what I want to do. Like I said, not everybody can do that. If you want to work for somebody, you can work and grow. Okay. You go through it and get to the top. Then you can now. But at the same time, people also, even when you're working, you are running businesses. So it means there is a skill in you that can also run one business or the other. So it's a backup for lack of jobs. You can always think of what you can do yourself.
All right. Now, Bab, so you're saying that entrepreneurship, if really tapped into, can help grow our economy.
Perfectly.
Okay. All right. Then I agree with you.
Yeah.
But looking at funds, there's something coming about among Nigerians, actually, and that's the area of reckless spending.
Yeah.
How do you now think one can be financially disciplined?
Wow, that's a huge thing too. You know, most times we're taught that you spend what is left after saving. But in Nigeria is you save what is left after spending, which at the long run, you will not have nothing to save. You know, so, but if you can put that principle on, I've tried that with young people because it's difficult at a stage where your expenditure have gone so wide now. So the preaching is difficult at some stage. You know, but at the younger level, I made them understand now for everything that comes in your hand, don't spend all. Try to make, you know, sometimes little principle counts. You know, 10% of it I save, I spend. You see that over time becomes huge, but you know, discipline doesn't work for us financially. So we get to a stage where before even you collect salary now, before you get your money, you have spent all. Is to go and pay it when you get the money. So a lot of discipline. Financial freedom is connected to discipline in terms of management and spending, in terms of saving. There is no how you become financially free if you don't save over time. And people used to say, have different streams of income. Connect to different things. It will help you. You know, everything around your idea has a lot of businesses. I write books, I speak in conference, I do MCs of programs. So all of them are connected to it. So there are different incomes, and I can manage the resource over time. So, but I think it's discipline. And sometimes you also need help financially. You need to connect to some destiny carriers, some mentors that can help you, but in a professional way, meaning so far you have something to offer. I've told you there are problems that you can solve outside. You know, if you connect to that, you will see people coming there and there. And I tell people, I said, there's a way you can hack. So people ask, you go online, you see people just coming, my son have not eaten, Instagram posts, they just be requesting. But there's a way you can ask for help. And I think it's working. Practically, you need 10,000 naira. Don't ask one person for 10,000. Look for 10 people that can give you 1,000 naira. It's easy for someone to give you 1,000 naira. And that's what I told some of my business students that have been developed. Okay, you need 50,000 for your business. Don't just ask one uncle. Spread it around. Look for 50 people that can give you 1,000 naira. Wow. And over time, you can get 1,050 places. It still solves the problem you are looking for. But when you ask one person for 50,000 in this time, excuse me, come.
Okay, so. All right, then, thank you. That's another point of view, and another way to look at things. All right, then, I appreciate that. With that in mind, I've decided, or we've pointed out, that the topic for today is becoming successful in a daring environment. Yeah. So because of that, we're touching different areas that are affecting Nigeria. Yeah. And now with that in mind, let's look at poverty. Now, agriculture and telecommunication is contributing, greatly or to a modest extent to the economic growth in Nigeria. And but with that in mind, about 60% of Nigeria's 200 million population are still living in extreme poverty. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is the problem? What do we go wrong?
We cannot take the government away. Okay. Even when we say individuals can do something, the government can be taken away from the poverty. You know, you talk about poverty alleviation programs. Most times, like we said, it is still through the wrong persons. I've done events where people have to, they gather events for those that are lacking, that they want to. People will go and get people on names. because they are giving anybody a certain amount of money, they put in the wrong people. Even people that are organizing it, you will go and tell them, I need 50 people. So if it's 1,000 they are giving them, I'm going to get that 3,000, maybe I will share. So it is still connected to the corruption of our government.
Okay,
so
let's just hold that there. Okay. Now, sorry, we've run out of time, but we can't just go without collecting an advice from you. You have experience. So now for the youth, in regards to becoming successful in a dairy environment, what can you advise them?
Yeah, my advice for young people over time, losing myself as an experience, is it is not about where you're coming from. Many people used to refer where they're coming from. I tell them, do not let your background put your back on the ground. Be decisive. Write plans. Where do you want to be? Ignore what you have. It's not about what you have. It's where you want to go to. Plan towards where you are aiming it. You think of a big business, it's possible. Just spend them. Whatever you write down, stay in your mind, you can build it over time. Don't look at the challenges. People used to think no money there, cannot start up something. Just plan. Plan your life. Aim well. Think big. You will certainly get there one day. So nothing can stand against you if you are determined to get there. You become successful. I'm a product of such thinking. And it's not about motivation, it's reality. You plan it and you get there.
No, thank you. You truly are indeed a motivational speaker. And like I said, I'll go with what you said. We'll think big. It's best to think big. So thank you, Babs Michael.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
I've enjoyed your time today, and I hope our viewers have enjoyed your time as well.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, then. Thank you once again.
You're welcome.
And with that, we've come to the end of our motivational discussion right here on Business.